Good morning, everybody. Your eyes are
Good
not playing
morning.
tricks on you. We are actually live on Facebook today. It's amazing. It's a miracle. As you can see, I've got Merlia with me today. She is in New Mexico, right, Merlia?
For a little bit longer, and then I've got to come back and face that cold weather up there
Mm,
pretty
stay as long as you
soon. Pretty soon, but I've been working hard. We've got some fun things going on, Rachel. We've got some
can.
wonderful trips in the works for us. What we're going to talk about today, everybody, is a talk that we did on Monday. And thank you for those that turned in on Monday and heard it live on our trip highlights of the Canadian Rockies, July 28th to August 6th. We're excited. We're going across the border and we're going to be close to home, but we're going to be international. And some wonderful offers, which is the one reason we are on today to give you a chance for a savings that I haven't seen in quite a while being offered. So let's go ahead and sit back, have a cup of coffee, and listen to highlights of the Canadian Rockies.
We're giving this a go. Just a second.
Away we go. We've got the date there, another shot. Let's see, where are you this time, Maria? Remember?
That's right here in New Mexico. That's Oregon Mountains Desert Peaks National Monument.
Oh, that's right down. Well, very
right
good.
down the road.
Very good. So let's throw the map up. And of course, right away, you see we're going to fly way in the bottom of the map. It says where it says Calgary. We're going to start in Calgary for our first 2 nights of the stay. And then from there, motor coaching north, Drumheller, which right away, I've got to research these trips. I'm going Drumheller, the home of the dinosaurs. Before we continue on for a 1 night in Edmonton, which boasts the world's largest mall. And you say, oh, really? Well, some things you just got to see them to believe.
Yeah.
So we have a night in Edmonton. Before our 2 nights in Jasper. And then I really would like them to change this road from Jasper down to the Icefields Parkway, 144 miles, 8 years to build it. It's an incredible story, incredible feat, but at the same point, you'll see, and I got a few pictures of it, that photographs will never do it justice. From Jasper, we're also going to go out and do the Maligned Lake cruise, as well as when we're down at Banff. You'll see we're there for 2 nights with a day trip or a few-hour trip up to Lake Louise. We could visit that beautiful lake as well on our way back to Calgary for our last night. So it kind of gives you a good feel of where we're all heading. Again, starting up in Calgary. Calgary's a pretty big city, pretty well known around Canada. It's 1.36 million people, so it's a pretty good city. And you can see by the buildings here. There used to have the tallest building in Canada, very short time, the tallest building in North America, but it got dwarfed real quick with the way people build buildings now. You might know the tower we'll get to here in a sec. So our first day, we're going to have a nice little city tour. Check out the parks, check out the history of Calgary itself, and our sightseeing tour.
And I'm hoping the dragon boats are out on the river. Last time I was there was a big dragon boat community there. So hoping some of the dragon boats will be on the river.
Sure, probably. We're going to see places like the Stampede Park. I know a lot of you think of Calgary as the Calgary Stampede. And we're a hair behind that. There's 10 days early August when that operates. But you'll see some of the Olympic venues from the 1988 Olympics. We're here. So the Stampede Park there. In other words, they're used to having a party every year. So when the Olympics came in '88, they were ready for them. And in the back, right in the center, you can see that Calgary Tower, as mentioned just a minute ago, which again was the tallest building, and literally in North America. And now, if you can imagine, I had to get this stat because I couldn't believe it. It is now the 16th highest building in Calgary alone. So they have 16 buildings over 500 feet tall, and you can see that in the middle of the tower is almost become one of the kind of almost dwarfed. But we'll get to that in a sec. I hear that beautiful Olympic Park before. And those Olympics were held here. They always have an international grounds. It's pretty much where the athletes' village is. So they usually try to put a lot of architecture into these areas. We're going to visit Fort Calgary. A lot of us didn't even realize that a fort up there, but it's kind of northern edge of, and it was really put up to keep out the Americans from poaching so many hides that they said, hey, we got to stop the flow. So of course they put it right at the on the river, and when you put them on the river, you can control the traffic through there a little bit better. It's like paying toll, you know. You got to know who's going through your rivers. So we're going to have a nice visit to the Fort Calgary. And then we're going to have a fun time. People really enjoy this stop when we go to the Heritage Park. Maria, have you been here?
Yes, it's fun.
Fully
Want to get your picture taken with a Mountie? This is usually the best place to find a picture.
There's
a picture
one,
spot
yeah.
one too.
And a lot of costume people live in the old style. You see a horse-drawn carriage here, and also home of the Gasoline Alley Museum, which I think you're going to, again, really enjoy. The old signs, things we're very familiar with, and a lot of old vehicles. In fact, has the DeLorean from the Back to the Future. So it's got cars from a lot of different eras. But I know guys and gals alike really enjoyed this stop. And it's just pure nostalgia. It brings us back to our days of youth.
I don't know anybody that doesn't enjoy car museum.
We all history. We all have history with the association with that. So as you can see, cars from a lot of different eras as well. But I always think people are amazed by the signs. They just remember that sign, you know, that was always by so-and-so's house, and so just a lot of things. But look at this town square. Take you right back to the good old Western days, back to the 1800s, and with the new car, with cars, you know, it's early 1900s. But it's a working heritage village, and be a fun.
Kind of living history farms of Canada, really.
There we go.
Yeah.
So north we go to the Drumheller area, and as you can see, to me, a little like Badlands, maybe a unique landscape, but it's still known. Of course, here's the Hoodoos, one of its famous rock formations. But when you get to that area, you're going to find out that it's Dinosaur Central. Yeah. The world's largest dinosaur, 86 foot, is here. There's a stairway inside that you can actually get up, and you can look right out the teeth, right out the mouth of this dinosaur. And you wonder where they picked it. Well, the Midland Provincial Park and several places, both in Alberta, all the way out to British Columbia, they found a lot of fossils from that era. I'm talking 15 to 10,000 BC. And in this park alone, 58 dinosaur fossils have been found. 58 in one park. So we're going, of course, the Royal Tyrrell. The gentleman that found the first ones was named Tyrrell. So when they put a museum up, named it after him. And some of these are replicas, but the majority are actual finds, actual digs. And it's pretty impressive just to see the sheer size, how they were found, how they were discovered. Sometimes it's just a big rain. Sometimes it's when the glacier moved and the that was left over, left a bone. They started digging and found full creatures. But one of the key for dating and looking at fossil or dinosaur movement is all studied and put in this area. The woolly mammoth, and some of the stories about how they just couldn't survive the change of the era is what caused them to go extinct. I think a lot of us think there was a flash flood. There was a strike from of a meteor. A lot of different ideas, but claim it was just really they couldn't handle the change in temperatures and all that. But one of the largest sites of woolly mammoth, they claim they had over 15,000 head at one time. Herds of 15,000.
Amazing what they're finding.
So a lot of different there. On we go to Edmonton, another bigger city than you think, at 980,000. So it's a million population city as well. And really, we're kind of just breaking up the day trip to get from here all the way to Edmonton, or all the way to Jasper. They have a mall. And I had to, again, you got to write some of these things down. 5.3 million square feet. 5.3. Mall of America is 4.8 million square feet. 800 stores. It is classified as a zoo. So you can see an incredible fountains, and you see the pirate ship and the numbers of stores, the arch ceiling. It's the largest mall in the world at 5.3 million feet. I don't know if the Dubai one got bigger than that. I don't think it is. I think this still owns the.
That's just kind of one of those you check off your bucket list, you know.
You gotta say, I was
there.
And some stores you guarantee you've never heard. So we make our stop there again, kind of breaking up that day, because then we're going to travel over, and I think this is one of those great days when you leave Edmonton and you just see the snow-capped mountains in the foreground. From the Calgary Tower, you can already see the mountains because you're pretty much all in plains there. But as we start looking west, as we travel west, we're seeing the mountains come on. We have 2 nights up at the here in Jasper. You can see beautiful location. We got mountains in the background. I thought the lobby area, place for our breakfast buffets, and those were here. There's a bar in the back. Always handy to have a nice pub in the hotels where we're staying for a nightcap. But from there, pictures can't do it justice, but we're going to try. Is that a wow picture or what?
There's just something about the magnitude. I don't know if it's the fact that they're rougher, or they just seem not as rounded maybe as the Rocky Mountains. They just seem more outdoorsy, I guess.
See more layered. You know,
yeah, maybe that's it.
Layers.
It's a different
when
feel.
you see that the Rocky Mountains, it's like, oh, that's a cool mountain. And it seems like so many of these have that lines, have those cuts on them.
Yeah. Just a little more rugged.
Here's the Jasper National Park. Anybody gets this, you got a money shot. It just happens to have an elk in the
front. I'll tell you, downtown
Jasper,
downtown Banff, it's going to be nothing to walk out, and there's a moose walking around through the down the street.
And all the warnings when we talk about that, please stay away from, it's more important than COVID to do social distance with wild animals, because you can't trust them.
Yeah. And it can easily happen.
I'd like to take credit for that one, Maria, but that one I picked that off today. So Jasper National Park, beautiful place, and of course, great home for lots of these great animals. Best to see them in the morning when they're foraging, look for food, and then usually toward dinner time or twilight hours is typically when you see the most animals. But this bear looks like it's come out of hibernation. It's a little bedhead. Animals are stay a night. Our next day, we're going to travel down. And I've always seen pictures of Malign with a beautiful island in the center, and never realized this lake, 12 miles, 14 miles long. 14 miles long. It's got the neat island. Spirit Island is where the people like to go around. You can actually get camping expeditions out for that. And 318 feet deep. Yeah. That's a real lake. But you think of how these glaciers, the mountains actually rose, it creates lakes. It's as deep below as it is high above. So 315-foot lake, 14 miles long. I think you're really going to just thoroughly enjoy just the pristine, the quietness, and then the beauty of this area.
And I think that's Spirit Island, isn't it, Kent? That's there on the lake.
Yeah, what did I say?
Island?
Spirit Lake. Yep. They were talking about their camping trips out to Spirit.
Out on Spirit Island.
This is a great time here to note the water, and a lot of people look at water when you see pictures of Lake Louise. You look at Pedro Lake. A lot of these lakes. What you find in the spring, you'll get this color water. So this might be early summer. This might be while we're there. You're going to see it's more of a darker hue, almost an emerald green. And then as the annual melt goes away, then the mineral seems to make more of a display. And they get to that turquoise green, almost looks fake. So when you see the pictures, you're like, what the world? August, September, October pictures can almost be a turquoise that you think is fake.
Peyto was real turquoise the last time I was up there.
You might have been there in August, even September.
Yeah,
Remember?
yeah, for
Was it
Peyto
later?
Lake. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
mid-August.
Peyto. So, when I see these pictures of lakes, like, well, look like a summer. Now, let's get you out a little bit. On our drive on Icefield Parkway, as we leave Jasper, we head down about an hour, and we're out to the Columbian ice fields. This is the Athabasca Glacier. Had to pull out a few numbers on that one: 300 to 980 foot deep. Still ranges over 3.7 miles. And, there's no secrets. These glaciers are going down, going away.
I pulled up a couple things on that. It's that this one's called one of the 6 principal toes of the Columbia ice field. But they said it loses 16 foot of depth a year. Talk about global warming. I mean, it's reduced 0.93 miles in the last half the Columbia ice field. In the last 125 years, it's gone back almost a mile. We've lost that much of that ice field.
And it's stayed 3.7 miles left.
Yeah.
3.7. So when you lose half a mile, that's a lot.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So the best way to be to see a glacier, though, is sometimes we've seen glaciers in the mountain or at a distance. And the best way to ride on them is, of course, on a Ice Explorer, on the Glacier Express. These snow coaches are made 6-wheel drive, as you can tell. Great clearance, great ride, a nice air ride, but it really makes for a fun way to get onto the glacier. The 2 warnings I get: if it's a sunny day, don't forget your sunglasses. It's so bright you can't hardly open your eyes. Number 2, if it's a sunnier day, it's got a little glaze on it, it can be very slippery. So just be conscious of that. I love this picture. Look at the background. You think, oh, these things are getting smaller. There's a snow coach way in the far left corner of the picture.
Right now. Last time I was out there, we had a little bit of a snowstorm, and everybody sang Silent Night in the middle of it. Well, quite an experience.
Why not?
It's a neat experience to be out on it.
So I think you're gonna, everybody's just gonna enjoy that, and the scenery to the sides is as well. I've been told on real nice days they'll actually give you a glass. You can go out and melting water and drink the pure water, the glacier water, 10,000-year-old ice. So we're going to snow coach on those ice fields at Athabasca Glacier. We added a new thing this year. We are bringing you out on the Glacier Skywalk. It's completed in 2014. It was added to our itinerary last year. And maybe one of the things Maria said, oh my goodness,
I've done that.
We can't miss this. It's a glass walkway, as you can tell. And you just walk out on it. And
it just reminds me of the tower in Chicago looking down below.
Yep. Yeah. Well, it says their glass room. So I think it's going to be kind of a treat, but as well as a thrill. So I think it's a nice combination of both, but you can just see 360 degrees around you through your, under your feet, and we walking out, just walking on air. So I think
I don't even do heights, and I am definitely going to do this.
Oh, you're definitely.
No, I am not going to miss this one.
Not gonna lie. There are people that walk hanging onto the rails pretty tight.
Yeah, that'll be me.
It'll be a little bit of a combination of thrill as well. So
still going.
Beautiful. Yeah. Oh, you would miss it. And then comes this Icefields Parkway we mentioned before. You have to imagine too. We started talking about the building of this back in the through the wartime, 1938, 32 to 40 is when the bulk, right before wartime. And they just didn't have the major equipment we had. So they did most of this with manpower and horse-drawn graders. They could blast an area out, but then it would be chipped down to make the road back in fully. But they did in 1961. Now they had big equipment. You could actually pay. But I just feel there's some sites on this day, and we're going to be stopping at places for photo stops and convenient stops. There are no towns on this 144-mile stretch. one gas station, just in case people ran out of fuel, didn't plan well. No towns. And you're riding on basically next to the Continental Divide. So I'm telling you, this is going to be a spectacular day. I think as you look out the windows, I think you're going to be in awe. So there's going to be a chance to stop, take those pictures. We have 2 passes over 6,500 feet above sea level. And you can see a lot of it looks really nice and straight. It's just a 2-lane. It's not a big 4-lane interstate. You go down at 80, and they say you can drive it in 3 hours, but nobody does. It takes 2 hours. Wildlife, a couple different areas are really wildlife, so we'll definitely be watching for that. And this is one I want to go drive myself. Just maybe even go bike it. What do you think, Maria? Go ride bike on this?
No. Really, I'll ride the coach.
And carry your tent.
A little too much exercise.
Takes us a fefew days. I got to find which is the downhill route. That's what I got to find.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's taking us to Banff.
And fun town. Banff. Fun town.
This is the town it's in the national park. So, you just kind of get to read a little bit about Banff. It's only 8,000 people. It's a small town. But today there are 12 places for sale, 12 houses for sale in Banff, and they're averaging $1.6 million. You find a 2-story, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, $1.6 million. It's such a high, but they're living in a national park, so you've got rules to go by.
And it's all Banff is also the kickoff for Yoho National Park. That's the jumping off spot to hit a second park if you're going to when you're up there. So it makes sense. It's a main stopping place.
So this is the main street. Our hotel, if you keep following the street, about 4 blocks. So that's where our Rundlestone is. The Rundlestone, again, looks like a great property. So imagine you're looking northwest here, and then if you come back down more west, and then it kind of turns out, curves south towards Sulphur Mountain. That's where our property is. So about 4 blocks from downtown.
And if I remember right, I believe the stores in Banff stay open till about 11 usually in the summer.
Nice.
I think if I remember right, I think they stay open late for tourists in the summer.
Well, with the ski resorts, I guess they are open year round, but it's the standard of living is a little bit high when you have a $1.6 million and right now 12 houses for sale. The top one, by the way, $5.6 million. And it was 7 bathrooms, 7 bedrooms. So I take it was nice. It probably has a media room, a gymnasium, bowling alley.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that said, Banff is a phenomenal park, another national park. Anytime you have still water, you get these magnificent pictures with reflecting pool. But here I see the water coming into July, August. I start seeing that turquoise come out. Again, there's such a high mineral content that it actually makes it look iridescent. Make it look like it's glowing. And if you've got a big snow year, Icefields area, they claim the pack is about 23 feet of snow for the season. 23 feet of snow, just mind-boggling. But that's a lot of water coming through. So like the Bow Falls, the Bow River runs right through Banff. The Bow Falls would be at its peak in May. June, July, it slows down a little bit. But when you get this, I'm going to tell you, this is probably an August, September picture when it starts turning that next shade. So the Banff National Park, again, one of the first parks up in Canada as well. Johnson Lake, to me, this is that June, July picture. Water's still pretty dark. As the darkness, as the annual melt goes, then the minerals again come up. We're going to drive up to Lake Louise, give you a chance to walk. There is a hiking trail that goes all the way around. There's a coffee shop on the far end. Some people like to rent some canoes, kayaks, and just go out on a little boat ride out a ways. But the area, as you can tell, just 360 degrees of incredible scenery. And this is where I'm blocking probably a late August, September view of that green, turquoise. And I think you've seen it as well, Maria. When you said Pato Lake, Pato,
Yeah.
just like glowing. That's probably a September picture. So there's your chateau that looks at. I think isn't that the home of the $20 cup of coffee? It's
Well, and it's worth just walking through Chateau
Exactly.
Lagouille. It's just to feel the ambiance,
so.
to walk through
And
the
again,
lobby and meander.
Hopefully, every picture you've seen, you've looked at the backgrounds with these mountains everywhere you go. And I think Marlea's point against the American Rockies, the Canadians, and these are peaks 13, 15, 16,000 feet. So we've got, a more aggressive, but it's a higher mountain. It's what do you call it? More they're just more
rugged.
More rugged. And they continue. So we mentioned before the Bow Falls, Bow River goes right through the town of Banff, specifically. And you're going to see those falls. Tunnel Mountain is kind of that picturesque, that mountain that you see. It's kind of a landmark. You kind of know where you're looking. You know where Sulphur Mountain is, and Tunnel Mountain. You can always find your way.
That's one good thing about our escorts or our step-ons when we get there. They do such a nice job, kind of explaining all those local things that we would miss otherwise, unless we had somebody like that with us.
Absolutely. So where's the best place to get a view? It's up on top of the mountain. So up we go, Sulphur Mountain. They tell me the ride is not bad at all. It's like 20 minutes. It takes 4 people at a time. Up in Jasper, they've put up some bigger gondolas that'll hold 30, 40 people. More for a ski lift, bringing up a lot of people at a time. Sulphur, still pretty intimate. 4 people gondola ride up to, dang it. It's pretty darn high. It's on the next slide. That's where I put it. So we get to the top, and then you can still walk the steps from there to get to the lookout point at 74. That's the number I was looking for. 7,486 feet. Look at the pictures you're going to get from there. And again, I think Marlea,
that's called be camera ready.
You can't, but your deal is you can't do space size.
You can't capture it.
Tough to get. Even a moving motion picture, a video, can't grab it all before we have to head back to Calgary. And we're going to have dinner on the top of the Calgary Tower up at 802 steps. So we earn your dinner. And I guess there are elevators as well. So nice little 20-minute elevator, 8-minute elevator ride will get you up to the Sky 360. It does revolve. It takes an hour to make a revolution for a dinner hour.
And the food is good up there.
The views are going to be fantastic. Obviously not an inexpensive place to eat as much as that's what I was going to say. The food recommendations, the food reviews are excellent up here. And you're going to be eating 626 feet off the ground. 16 buildings over 500 feet. And in Calgary now, it's number 6. So of the 15 above 500 foot, we're at the number 6 tallest building now. But revolving around, what I love about those, the scenery keeps changing. So you look out the window as you're enjoying your glass of wine or appetizer, and you don't feel the movement as much as the landscape changes. So I see something different. There's no old view that you don't get. I've seen that building 10 times now. It's gone. That one's bad.
I missed it.
what a great sensation, as well as we mentioned earlier, we want to have great dinners, great experiences. That's one of them. So
it is. It's a beautiful.
This is our night in Calgary. We fly home the next day. On our 9th day, we'll fly home. So as mentioned before, we're departing on July 27th. We got a 4,000.
28 overnight, 29 we leave.
28. I'm still a day off.
Yeah,
I thought I fixed it.
That's all right.
I went backwards.
That's all right.
Anyway, has the round trip, whatever we have, has the round trip airfare, has the hotel the baggage handling, the professional tour manager, step-on guides, and of course hosted by
and flyers are out and ready. Rhonda has them in the office.
And we do have, every time I do a presentation, we have presentation savings. They want it to be Give them a day, and I always say it's too short. Give them a week. So, folks, you've got till Friday, February 11th, to get $125 off per person, which brings our price down $39.74 per person. Single room is a little bit more, so be aware of it. And the only things we really don't include are the travel protection and the gratuities, the guides, and the drivers. Quick number, if you do about $11 a day on an 8-day tour, I know it's 9, but I always fly half a day and I land half a day. I'm a Dutchman, Van Roekel. It kind of follows me around. So 8 days times 11 is about 88. I just said about $90. So that'll be out of your pocket. And at the end of each day on the brochure that Maria has, it'll be a breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So it'll tell you how many meals are on your own. Maria, on the included, how many meals on this one?
Oh, let me check there for you real quick. We've got And of course,
13.
I'm not going to be able to find it real fast.
No, 13 meals. So you
Thank
get
you.
13 meals
I'm
and
not
all
seeing
that,
it.
all there. So for you people that have been on Mayflower tours, you've got those little coupons. Remember, they're not shipboard credit. They're not for the spas. They're for your next tour. So for you repeat travelers, don't forget your coupon from the last trip, the Poland, the man, where have y'all been?
New England, several from New
uh,
England.
Oregon.
Yeah.
Get them all in there. But anyway, so we take those off your final payment as well. Deposits are $200 per person to save your spot, or $400 if you'd like the travel protection. This day and age, obviously, we highly recommend the travel protection. It just gives you that extra peace of mind. This is the travel, the cancel for any reason. 24 hours before you fly, you get all your money back except the $200. So nice peace of mind. The $200 then when you're on the trip is also going to be like emergency transportation and baggage delay, trip interruption, all that good stuff. So we get a lot of questions about insurance anymore. Easiest to just get the policy. We can't sell insurance as much as just promote. We have it available, and we've chosen the best company that we can partner with. So it's $200 for the deposit, but by doing the travel protection with your deposit for $400, now you have all your pre-existing medical conditions also included. So we highly recommend it when you put your deposit. Final payment is 60 days before we fly, which simply means Maria is probably going to send you a bill about the 15th of May. Something like that.
They know to watch for Rhonda. She'll have it out to them.
Ron will have it. And that traveler's protection, like I mentioned, the $200 per person. And that's what you risk. When you sign up for trips, when you buy insurance, you know how that goes. Whether you use it or not, that's non-refundable. Unless, and I mentioned this to Maria earlier, we're back to standard terms at Mayflower now. We feel like we've weathered the COVID storm to where it's back to normal terms. Normal terms say if we cancel the tour, if Mayflower says, hey, we didn't get enough, we're not going to go, we'll offer an alternate date where you get all your money back, including the travel protection. So I don't know how much more peace of mind I can give you. As much as this, we hope you plan to join us.
We really do. We really do.
I think the first couple of days, you're going to be introduced to Canada, the Canuck way. But once you hit Jasper, I think it's jaw-dropping, beautiful. God's creation at its finest.
It's a beautiful area. Kent, for those that are on, we had a couple questions last year, and I want to clarify it as to why Terry and I turn our trips over to another host when we arrive at our destinations.
Oh, sure.
We both feel, and especially me, even the years I've been in the business, I can't know everything that's in those destinations and as many places as we go. So many of the destinations that we're picking out, I feel much better and love the idea of turning it over to someone that has much more knowledge than we do of those areas. We want to take everybody to these areas and show them these beautiful places in the world, but we want to be sure that they have the insider knowledge and all those extra things. That's the reason we're turning it over on many of our trips to another host once we arrive. And we have, let's face it, we have fun in the airports with Terry and I. So, and we are always there no matter what. We are always on the coach with everybody. We're always there to intercede or to help or to answer questions. But we do turn it over to somebody that is more knowledgeable in those areas.
And your step-on guides live there. They pay tax there. They know the local customs. They know where the quilt shop is. They know where the sport bar is. They know, they live there. So yeah, that's a great point. And
Yeah.
as much as you know about travel, when it comes to a certain town, we just can't study enough. I don't want to read out a history book. I want somebody that lives there to tell me the story.
Yeah.
So that's
you know,
great.
it makes a lot of difference with it. I'm sure there's also going to be questions with everything that's going on in our world right now. We are going to stay as up to date as we can. You know, things are still changing daily with everything. We do require that that everybody be vaccinated, and we have proof of your vaccinations. That's just something everybody has felt that has been traveling with us, that they feel more comfortable by doing that. So we are asking that be shown at the same time. You've got to have your passport. Be sure you have at least 6 months left on that passport. And if you don't, get it right in, because they are coming faster, but there is still quite a backup. So do check your passports for expiration dates on it at the same time, and we'll keep you up to date as far as what's needed, what's testing. Your company, Kent, has done a wonderful job making sure tests coming out of countries and things that are needed while we are on your trips, you make sure we have gotten those taken care of.
Absolutely.
So, you know, that is ongoing and unchanging. And as soon as we know, everybody else will be notified. I guess is the only way to put it.
Well, and what you say, Merlin, is so true. It's just changing day by day. Well, we have to wear masks on the coach. Today you do, but what about in July? Will we have to do this, do that in store? Do we have to show the vaccination card to get in the gasoline alley? I don't know.
Okay.
We'll find out, and you'll have it with you anyway.
Yes. That while you mentioned vaccination cards, those of you that are carrying, you need to carry both your paper card and please take a photo of that and put it in your telephones if you have your phones with you. You should always have a copy of that in your phone just in case. Same with your passports. Put a copy of those in your phone also, so that you've got it with it. Otherwise, Kent, thank you so much. It's been a great talk. We appreciate it. Please, everybody, give us a call. On the 800 number, the 877-694-8687, and Rhonda over at Northland will have brochures ready to go out to you, or you can send me a quick email or a text, and I'll be happy to send one over to you. Don't forget that quick early booking discount. That's a fantastic offer. Thank you very much, Kent.
I was just looking, if you do have a question, folks, and you want to type one in quick, it's the chat button or the Q&A section. I'm keeping an eye on both of them. And yeah, Merlia, these people, they just go out. Merlia's going, we're going, because we have no questions. So you've got to throw out.
That's good. That's what we want, questions, but that's what we want. So don't hesitate, to let us know if you do have a question on anything, because we'll be happy to get it answered. If we don't know, I can guarantee you we know somebody that does. That's the biggie.
And then I'll have a recording of this. If you have some friends, fun friends that you want to bring along, we'll have that recording probably available. Today's Monday, probably by Wednesday, you'll have a recording available.
Rachel will get that out on the website just as fast as she can on the Northland website to get it ready for us. And thank you, everybody, for attending today. We appreciate it, and we hope to see you with us in Canada.
Well, wow.
Busy. And what a neat area. Aren't those pictures gorgeous?
Oh my goodness. I'm going to go ahead and
absolutely looks like that, Rachel. It's rugged. Those peaks are just more jagged, more rugged than you see in the lower half of the Rockies down here in the lower 48. So it's a neat area. Cool evenings, even in July up there, because we're going to be high up. But it's a fun area. It's a casual area, put on your jeans, put on your capris and your tennis shoes, and and plan to go with us. Big thing, and I hope everybody took note on that, is $125 per person off. It is a quick booking window, however, only until Friday, February 11th, and Rhonda's got to know early on that Friday, because she's got to do a turnaround and make sure that deposit gets registered with Mayflower. Also, for those that have traveled with us last year, and we did 3 trips with Mayflower last year, you have got a past traveler coupon. So we need to have that also because we want to apply the past traveler coupon for credit for your days, right with that 125 off on it. So 125 till February 11. Great time. It's gonna be a fun trip. It's an area both Terry and I like. Because it's been quite a few years since I've been up there. But it's an area you can go back to. It takes your breath away, a little bit like Alaska, a little bit different, little different atmosphere. And like I said, moose right down outside the hotels in the evening lots of times. So it's going to be fun. Please let us know. We do have brochures ready. We will be doing our usual pre-night in Des Moines so that you have free parking and shuttles back and forth to the airport like usual with our trips. So it's going to be fun.
I want to just interrupt you for a second too, Merlia, and just remind everybody we are live today, which is a little bit different than in the past. Yes. And so if you do have a question, we can see him. Merlia is here. She's ready to answer any questions you may have that maybe didn't get answered during the presentation there. I do need to share, Merlia, Carol's looking forward to this trip. She said it early on when this started. Right. So after listening and seeing those views, I can see why she's super excited. I'm also going to put up, like we've been talking about, Rhonda's phone number up here. This is the quickest and easiest way to reach Rhonda at the office if you have any additional questions or you'd like an itinerary emailed to you. I have been working with the website company to get the itinerary up there. I'm hoping it today if it's not already up there. So you can also find it on northlandtravel.com yourself and look through the days and all the wonderful things planned. I think two things I learned in that presentation was, hands down, if I am ever in a trivia competition, you're going with me and Kent's going with me. I just feel like you guys have that knowledge.
We have fun. We have fun tossing that back and forth. The other thing, with a reminder, is we are going to be having our travel show live, our travel show on February 23rd, and we'll talk a little bit about this trip and a lot of the great trips we've got planned for this year and starting for 23. Thinking about it, there's going to be some changes, at least with what Terry and I are doing with World Situation, but some fun things. Right now, I came across something, Rachel, that I want to leave everybody with. It's a saying that I used probably 20 years ago. It comes out of CLIA, Cruise Lines International, but we always had fun with the saying. It's the fact that travel agents sell fun, fantasy, and dreams, and we do it legally. So thank you, everybody. We sure appreciate you being with us. Think Canadian Rockies, think Northland Travel. Give us a call for all your travel needs. Happy traveling.